What's up, y'all? Daily Rant. Daily Rant time with your boy, GI Operation on Twitter. CEO of Black Folk Hotspots. Follow the network on Twitter as well as here. But you can also follow and connect with black businesses. That's a part of our network. We got over 2,400 black business owners. So if you're a black business owner, you're watching this. If you know a black business owner, let them know about blackfolkhotspots.com and share this video with them. And basically, like, comment, let me know what kind of business you own, how long you've been in business, and then share this video with your friends. Anyway, that's how we all do. When we all work together, we grow together, right? Sort of like they say, a family who prays together stays together, but a community who works together grow together. So this rant, I think it's number 12, is based off a conversation I just had with one of my partners from way back. And he was asking, we were talking about some things, about how I was able to do certain things and make certain decisions. One thing that allows people to make bold decisions that seem like they're bold to a certain extent, sometimes they're more calculated than you think, right? But one of the things that allowed me to make certain decisions early on in my life that I wanted to make, where I wanted to be in control of my life, because I always had an entrepreneurial spirit since I was a little kid, from being a newspaper, delivering newspapers and cutting grass and doing little lawn care work and stuff like that, odds and ends. Selling candy bars in high school and test answers, things like that. But she gave them to me. But little things like that was, I just like the appeal of controlling what I made. Now, as you get older, you realize that you're in family, especially with us a lot of times in the black community. As black people, we don't necessarily, our mothers and fathers, grandparents, and it's getting a little bit better, grandparents and things like that were not business owners. What they knew was going to work for somebody for 40 years, 30 years, and retiring and, not even getting a watch, but retiring and getting a pension. Right, my grandmother used to always say, she was like, what you gonna do about a pension? Because even when I would go to work for someone, I always went towards the sales aspect, because it gave me that it sharpened up my entrepreneurial spirit and kept that flame flaming. Because being in sales, even whether if I was 100% commission or a salary plus, a base plus commission, I knew that I was in control. I was in control of how much, money I could make. And it's not all about the money, but it is, a lot of times money controls everything about you. It controls, the kind of car you drive, the neighborhood you live in, the school that your kids go to. Money controls so many different things, how many different things that they can be exposed to. But one of the things that I fell in love with at a very young age was baseball. I played as a kid, this and the other, played through high school, played on like the base softball teams and stuff like that in the Air Force. But when I was in the Air Force, one of the things that I noticed right away was that I really loved coaching. I was coaching at 19 years old, coaching these kids, and these parents would come up to me like, hey, my kid's not doing well in school, right? And I'm like, well, why are you telling me? I'm 19 years old. Well, beat their ass, or put them on punishment. They're like, no, coach, we telling you. And I'm like, damn, what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, all right, well, you ain't playing today. And then what I would find out is that would actually work for a lot of these kids. That was something that they really loved, but they didn't like, sitting on the bench. And I would tell them, don't just not bring them to the game. Bring them to the game, but let me sit them on the bench. But the thing that kept me coaching, and a lot of you coaches out there, no matter what sport it is, when you coach kids, it's that one thing that hooks you for life. And it's when everything that you've been saying, that one kid or those 2 or 3 kids that could not figure it out, when they finally get it and that light bulb goes, you just see it just light up in their head, or when they're looking at you with those big old eyes and they're just soaking up everything that you say, and I think that the coaching the kids also kept me on track too, because I don't want to do anything stupid to where they be like, damn, coach, you tell us not to do it, but you did it. So it kind of works twofold here, right? It kind of keeps you with your honesty and your ethics. But also, my grandfather was big on that too, because, one thing he said was, you protect your name at all times. Your name will always get you with always a roof over your head and food in your stomach. Somebody would always, allow you to sleep on their couch or give you a meal, if your name is good. But anyway, I didn't say all that to say that what allowed me to make those, certain decisions in life was finances. And one of the things that I did was I would save money. So talked about a time when I quit the casino and I was making $50,000 plus a year, like 54 grand in my last year dealing. And we got bought out by a new company and ended up working for the company, the new company for about 6-8 months or something like that. But they just the way they treat their employees, and I was one of the top dealers there. And I remember going to the casino manager and telling him, man, I'm not really digging the way you guys are running this place, man. My schedule's all the way across the board. One day you got me coming in 9, the next day you got me coming in 11, next day you got me coming in at 1, I'm leaving at 5, leaving at 7, leaving at 9. When I had been used to some stability, and they were doing that for no apparent reason, or making us, when you're good, say I was a dice dealer, I dealt craps, and I was good at it. But one of the things that was, they would, trying to, have blackjack dealers, that's been really good at blackjack coming over to deal dice, and I get it, they got to get good, but at the same time, you can't put them on high roller tables where these these players are expecting fast action, right? They not expecting somebody to, be asking what this paid, what that paid, or this, that, and the other. They want fast action. They want to get paid. They want the dice moving, this, that, and the other. The managers, the supervisors don't even have to say, get the dice in the air, because they moving. And those are just some of the complaints. And I was like, man, I'm not digging this, because what happens is we all work off of tokes, tips. We call it tokes in the casino, but tips. So we get a base salary plus our tips, right? And we all using them together. So we want the best over there, so we can get the most amount of tips. We can extract the most amount of tips from our players by being good. And I want the best blackjack deal over there getting tips, because that money's going in my pocket too, part of that. Every time somebody tip, we cutting that up by 300 dealers or whatever, how many dealers we had on shift. So, and he was just like, do what you want to do. Do what you got to do. And I told him, I said, man, I'm thinking about leaving, man. I'm thinking about going somewhere else that I feel like I can be respected, for my skill sets and my knowledge base, and that somebody's just not going to just keep dicking me around. And his response was, do what you think is best for you. And I'm like, okay. I went home, I looked at my bank account, and, I looked at this, I said, oh shit, I got 6 months of living. So that decision was easy from that point. Plus, it was one of the things that I was reading at that time, and I suggest that you read this. I'll put the link in the description, but I recommend anybody who's thinking about going into business reading 2 books. The first book is Think and Grow Rich, right? It's a really good book by Napoleon Hill. It's written in the 1930s. The Science of Getting Rich is the next best book, or probably better than that, depending on who you are. And that book was written in the early 1900s by William Waddles. And that book is excellent, right? I'll put that link in the description. You can buy it on Amazon. I think you can buy it for like $5 or $6 a piece or whatever. You might even find them used for like less than $1, right? And with Think and Grow Rich, one thing that Science Getting Rich was, hey, everything happens for a reason. And the Think and Grow Rich was goal setting and taking risk, but calculated risk. And you'll see once you start reading the book, you'll see. And they got it on audio too, so if you want to listen to it in your car or at home or in your headphones while you're working out, whatever. But so you can get it any way you want it. But those are just things that that we need to. It helped me, and it helped. It also taught me that it's okay to burn a bridge, so that you don't have to go back to to doing something. I'm okay with walking out on something and never having to go back. Sort of like a relationship, if you break up, this, that, and the other. Hey, I'm not saying you make it so bad where you can't go back, but what I am saying is, you broke up for a reason. You know what I mean? It's probably something else better out there. But I walked away the next day. But more importantly, it was meant for me to walk away, because and I walked away in the middle of the shift too, because I wanted to make a grand exit. Sort of like something I read in Think Real Rich. You'll see what I'm talking about. When the general made that decision to go win that war. But after that, 5 people, I want to say for the next 5 Saturdays, quit in the middle of the shift, just like that. And I know one of them, have told me the reason why he's making, close to $300,000 now, and working for a company that he always wanted to work for. He's in the technology space, and he said that I inspired him to quit and go work on his dream. And I think that that's something that, to me, I don't take hearing those things lightly. So if I can inspire you to do something, to take a risk, to work on your dreams instead of, working on somebody else's dream, then I've done my job. I always tell people, I may not ever be a millionaire, but if I can help you become a millionaire, then my job is done. Because we don't exactly know 100% our exact reason for being in this world, what God put us, the plan. But you'll kind of figure it out by just the resources and the things that pop into our lives or whatever. But yeah, it's one of those things. But as far as goals, so if it's something that you want to do, right? So if you're working on a project, if you got a little side hustle now that you really like and really dig, and that you can see it, you can scale it to make a big business out of it, but you know that you need more time, right? So you need to figure out what it is that you need to do to get there, right? So, but you start from the top. And I don't care, this works for career fields. So if you're looking at working for a company or doing a certain career, so say you want to be an architect, right? A lawyer, a doctor, whatever you might want to be, some type of engineer, or you got to go and say, I want to be a bridge builder, whatever type of engineer. I think that's civil, right? Maybe. A nuclear engineer, whatever, but just say civil. And so then you got to go back and you got to realize, you got to go, what I would suggest is go talk to other civil engineers, talk to 5 to 7 of them, or as many as you can find, and ask them, how did they get to where they got, right? If you want to be a doctor, do the same thing. What did you major in undergrad? Why did you choose this? And do you see, this particular part of medicine, being something that's going to grow in the future, and you find out, right? What would you do differently if you could do it all over again? You do those things and you start to find. I remember when I wanted to be a doctor, right? I would talk to doctors and they all had majored in something. I thought I had to major in undergrad or pre-med. I had to under some biology or chemistry or pre-med or something like that to be a doctor. And that was, all these doctors like, oh, I got a degree in English, or I got a degree in, liberal arts degree, or I got a degree in social work, or I got a degree in psychology or sociology, whatever. They all had different degrees. And then some of them had biology degrees and chemistry degrees and this, that, and the other. But that was because they loved it. And they would say, hey, you know what? You might get to the point where you don't want to do this no more, but then you got this to fall back on. And then they would say stuff like, you might really enjoy this part. So then in your, and what they all told me was in your, sophomore year and whatever, you start looking at the medical schools you want to go to. You find out the prerequisites that they require, you know, and then you start taking those classes as electives in your undergrad. So, you know, and it would help you with get better grades and whatnot because you're doing something that you want to do in pre-med. I mean, in undergrad, and then you're taking these electives and you knocking it out because that's usually what the law schools, I mean, the medical schools would look at. I was like, damn, that make a lot of sense, right? But you want to start here and then you start working yourself backwards, right? So if you know you need to make $50,000 a year, you know, you break that down into, that's $4,000 a month, right? And then that's $1,000 a week. And if you work in, you know, 5 days a week, then that's what, $200 a week. And then you break that down into, you know, how many hours a day, and that's what you need to make, right? And you work on trying to get that, and now you're making that. You know, if you're, you know, trying to make $150,000, $100,000, something like that, I think it's like $150. You know, maybe you need to charge 100, you know, this, that, and the other. And that's how you can figure out your charges for consultant fees and this, that, and the other. But that's how you get there. You work backwards. You know, Steve Jobs, I highly recommend you guys YouTube this. Go look at his commencement speech that he gave, the 2005 commencement speech at Harvard. No, at Stanford. Connecting the dots. He talked about, he didn't understand why things were happening to him in his life. And then he realized something, that you need to connect the dots backwards, not forward. We had always been taught to connect the dots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But you're supposed to connect the dots from 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, backwards. Anyway, y'all, if you're a black business owner, you're watching this, hopefully I can help you. If you're a business owner, period. Today I just did a few Uber rides, and I'm about to go work on Black Folk Hotspots for a few hours. And then, so if you're a black business owner, now's the time to go create your profile so we can get that get that approved and shared into our network so that our 300,000 people can see your business and put you into our rotation. And then you can follow us on at BFHS Network. But you know, we kind of post about black business, but we also, politics are important too, especially in this day and age. And we need to start getting more involved in that. Running for office. And so if you're a politician and you watch this, you know a politician, let them know to go create a profile so that we can help share them and get them more exposure for their upcoming run for election, so we can help them get elected. Anyway, y'all, blackfolkhotspots.com. You'll see the link for Uber if you've ever been thinking about making a little extra money to help you get to that goal so that you can walk away from your job so you can focus more on your business. You know, we got to do the things right now that others won't, so we can have the things in the future that others can't get because they don't have the money or whatever. I just want to give back to the kids. I just want to coach Little League. I just want to help kids get, you know, reach their potential. And by any means necessary, y'all. Peace. CEO, Black Folk Hotspots. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Go check out other videos. Like this video. Like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what is something that you might think I want to talk about or ask. You know, just leave it in the comments. Peace, y'all.